Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive. Today, we're going underground, into the desert, tracking an animal so elusive, it's practically a myth.
Mythical, maybe, but definitely real.
We're talking, of course, about the sand cat.
The desert ninja.
Exactly. This tiny feline, barely bigger than your average house cat, makes its home in some of the most extreme environments on the planet.
And thrives there.
It really is incredible. We've got an article here all about these mysterious desert dwellers, and let's just say we're ready to get our paws sandy.
I think it's safe to say that when people think desert, they don't usually picture a cat.
Right. It's all like camels and scorpions and things.
Yeah.
But the sand cat is perfectly adapted to that harsh landscape.
Oh, yeah. Like take their coat, for example. That sandy color with those faint stripes. It's practically built-in camo.
They vanish. Poof.
Gone.
Gone. And it's not just the coat. Their ears, I mean, wow, talk about impressive.
Okay, yeah, their ears are definitely something else. It's not just about size, though they are big, but it's the shape. Low set, wide, almost triangular, like little funnels.
So they can hear what, like everything?
Pretty much. It's like having built-in radar dishes, especially for sounds underground.
So wait, are you telling me they can hear a mouse scuttling under the sand?
Exactly. That's their superpower. Pinpointing prey, even when it's hidden beneath the surface.
Okay, that is seriously cool. And what about those paws? You know, all furry and stuff?
Ah, yes, the furry paws, like little desert snowshoes.
Right, because walking on hot sand, barefoot, no thanks.
It's not just for the heat, though. That thick fur on their paws also insulates against the cold.
Wait, hold up, cold? I thought deserts were, hot all the time.
Well, they are during the day, scorchingly so. But desert nights can get surprisingly chilly.
Huh. So those furry paws are like all-weather protection,
Yeah,
multi-purpose.
Exactly. Sand cats are masters of temperature regulation. They have to be to survive in that environment.
And speaking of the environment, one thing I noticed is, well, there aren't many trees in the desert.
Nope, not many at all.
So no climbing for these guys.
Nope. They're strictly ground dwellers. Unlike a lot of other wildcats, they rarely climb.
Okay, so they're not hanging out in trees, escaping the heat. So how do they deal with the sun?
Simple. They avoid it. Sand cats are primarily nocturnal.
Ah, so they're like the vampires of the desert.
Exactly. They come out when the sun goes down, hunt during the cooler hours, and avoid the worst of the heat.
Smart. But where do they hide out during the day? Under a rock somewhere?
Even better, they use burrows.
Burrows, like underground.
Exactly. They dig these burrows, or sometimes, even more cleverly, take over abandoned ones dug by other animals.
Like foxes or something.
Foxes, rodents, whoever had it first.
Talk about resourceful. So these burrows, they're basically like little underground apartments.
More like climate-controlled bunkers. Cool during the day, warm at night, perfect for escaping the extremes.
Makes sense. So we've got these solitary sand cats chilling in their borrowed burrows all day. What about, socializing? Do they ever hang out with other sand cats?
Not really. They're pretty solitary creatures. They value their personal space.
Yeah, I get that. Some days I feel the same way. But if they're not hanging out together, how do they, communicate?
Mostly through scent markings like spraying urine and vocalizations. They've got a whole range of sounds.
Yeah.
Chirps, hisses, growls, you name it.
Wow, a whole cat language we don't even understand. Okay, so not exactly the cuddly lap cat type.
Not really, but they are incredibly efficient hunters.
Well, they have to be, right, to survive in that environment.
Yeah.
So how do they find food? Is it just like wander around and hope for the best?
Remember those amazing ears we talked about? Those are key. They can pinpoint prey even under the sand.
So they hear a little rustle and then bam, pounce.
Exactly. They're lightning fast, incredibly agile, and those powerful claws.
It's game over for the gerbil. Or lizard or whatever unlucky creature they're after.
Right. They'll eat pretty much anything they can catch. Insects, reptiles, birds, even the occasional snake.
Wow, snakes. That seems risky.
They're careful, and those lightning reflexes definitely come in handy. But there's one thing that's always baffled scientists about these desert hunters.
Oh, what's that?
Water, or rather the lack of it. The desert is incredibly dry, so how do they stay hydrated?
Good question. Do they, store water in their humps? Oh, wait, that's camels.
No humps on sand cats, but their bodies have an amazing adaptation. Their kidneys are incredibly efficient at extracting water from their food.
So they can survive on very little drinking water.
Exactly. It's one of the key reasons they can thrive in such an arid environment.
That is incredible. Nature is so amazing. Okay, so we've got these tough, solitary, super hearing desert ninjas. What about, baby sand cats.
Ah, kittens.
Yeah. What are those little guys like? I mean, being born in the desert can't be easy.
It's tough, but they've got mom to look after them. Sand cat litters usually have 2 to 5 kittens.
Oh, that's a decent-sized family. Are they, like, born ready to hunt scorpions?
No, not quite. They're born blind and totally dependent on mom for everything.
So it's all cuddles and milk for the first few weeks.
Pretty much. But they grow up fast. By 6 months old, they're pretty much independent and ready to face the desert on their own.
Wow, that's a quick turnaround. Makes sense, though. They've got to learn all those survival skills fast.
Right. But sadly, even with all those adaptations, the average lifespan for a sand cat in the wild is only about 10 years.
Oh, wow, that's way shorter than I expected. Makes their conservation status even more important.
Absolutely. But the good news is that they're currently classified as least concern on the endangered species list.
Okay, phew, that's a relief. So no need to worry then, right?
Well, not so fast. Least concern doesn't mean they're completely safe. They still face a lot of threats.
Like what?
Habitat loss is a big one. As humans expand into desert areas, we encroach on their territory.
That's true. Plus, I imagine things like, roads and buildings fragment their habitat, making it harder for them to find mates and food.
Exactly. And then there's the issue of accidental trapping. Sand cats sometimes get caught in traps set for other animals.
Oh, that's awful. And I remember reading something about the illegal pet trade, too.
Right. Sadly, their cuteness and rarity make them targets for poachers who sell them on the black market.
It's so disheartening that an animal so perfectly adapted to its environment could be at risk because of human activity. Especially because, let's be honest, there's still so much we don't know about them.
Absolutely. Their elusiveness makes them very difficult to study. We still have a lot to learn about their social behaviors, breeding habits, and the full impact of human activity on their populations.
It's a good reminder that even when a species isn't considered endangered, conservation efforts are still important.
Couldn't agree more. Protecting the sand cat means protecting the delicate balance of the entire desert ecosystem. We lose them, we lose more than just a species. We lose a unique set of adaptations, behaviors, and genetic diversity that could be vital for understanding life on Earth.
It really is a powerful reminder that every species plays a role in the intricate web of life. I mean, if these cats can thrive in such a harsh environment, what does that tell us about the resilience of nature?
It's a testament to the power of adaptation. The more we learn about these amazing creatures, the better equipped we'll be to protect them.
And protect the fragile ecosystems they call home. Well, folks, that's our deep dive into the world of the sand cat.
The desert ninja.
Exactly. A tiny creature with incredible adaptations facing big challenges.
It makes you wonder, if they can survive in such an extreme environment, what does that tell us about the importance of preserving biodiversity?
What can we learn from their resilience? What secrets do they still hold? There's a whole world of fascinating creatures out there.
It's waiting to be discovered.
Until next time, keep exploring.